Hey guys, so someone wrote me a DM on my Instagram and they were asking for some feedback. I wanted to make a video because I think this is very common. This is a very common question and a very common mistake made with novice investors, new investors. I made the same mistake and I preach about it all the time in my podcast and my content to my students and my meetups. So here's the question. Martin, wanting your feedback on how to handle a non-paying tenant. My wife and I took your advice and bought a home in East Stroudsburg and rented it out. After 1 year, the tenant stopped paying and now don't keep in touch with us. Any advice you can give would be greatly appreciated. Thanks. So I'm going to share with you what I wrote and then I'll tell you what I think. Hello, thank you for listening, watching our content. So I teach all of my students when buying an investment property to run the numbers with vacancy, maintenance, repairs, taxes, insurance, and property management. If your deal doesn't cash flow with all of these numbers, one has no deal. So it's important that you run your business like a business. That's how you avoid these type of issues. I've been where you are when I started, and if you've had a property manager, they would do the whole process for you. Since you're doing it yourself, you have to post notice on their door, 10-day notice quit. Anyways, I gave them the process. I coached them through on what to do. So what's the point? So when I first bought my first investment property in 2007, I made the same mistakes. I was too cheap, or I didn't know, I didn't have the education, and I didn't want to hire a property manager. So I would paint the properties, turn the properties, rent the properties, advertise the properties, do it all. It gets tiresome and it gets old. If you're looking for a low-paying, very unsatisfactory job, become a landlord and manage your property yourself and be the maintenance person. This is exactly what happens. What I teach is, yes, I want people to get real estate. That's how you can create wealth. 90% of self-made millionaires are created through real estate around the world. What I teach, though, is property management, 10%, vacancy, 5%, maintenance, 5%, repairs, 5%, taxes, and insurance. Those are your expenses right there. Those 6 items. If after all of those things and you pay your mortgage, you have cash flow left over, then you have a deal. And only then, if you're happy with that cash flow that's left over, then you have a deal. If you're not happy, then walk away, because this is the type of things that happen. I go on to say, don't allow this setback to deter you from building wealth and building your portfolio. You made a mistake, it's okay. I made the same mistake. Take your lessons, get better, keep building. Building wealth requires you to learn from your mistakes, from others' mistakes. And the challenge with this particular person, I feel for them, I feel their pain because I've been there. And it wasn't until I got a mentor and a coach that taught me how to run the numbers that then I went at it again and I started buying real estate the proper way, with property management, with taking out all of these numbers so that I'm running a business and not a landlord, right? There's a difference with an investor and a landlord. So that was my advice to them. So if you find yourself in this situation, this is for you. If you find yourself in a situation where you bought a property because everyone else is doing it, hey, that was me, and now you're like, hey, these tenants aren't paying me, you don't have systems, you don't know how to pick tenants, you don't know how to manage tenants, you shouldn't be doing that. You should have a property manager doing that. The best way to do this thing is to find someone that's doing it successfully, bring them on, have them mentor you, have them coach you, and then have them teach you so you don't have to go through those type of pains. That is very painful. You want me to tell you how painful it was for me? Because I was doing it that way, my house got burned down. That same house, because I picked the wrong tenants, they actually burned down my house. So my advice to these guys, don't let this deter you. Learn, get better, keep going, but don't stop building. Don't give up. Keep on going. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace out.